There were exactly 3 reasons Cole Bennett could not possibly be standing inside a gay club at 11:47 on a Friday night. Ethan Miller counted them while staring across a sea of sweaty bodies and violet light, because counting was easier than accepting that his brain had apparently decided to ruin his life. Reason 1. Cole hated clubs. Not disliked them. Hated them with the quiet, judgmental intensity of a man who considered music above 70 decibels a personal attack. Reason 2. According to Ryan, Cole was supposed to be at some painfully respectable dinner with clients tonight. And reason 3. Ethan. Ethan flinched so hard his drink nearly escaped his hand. His friend Noah appeared beside him, flushed from dancing. Are you having a stroke? No, you've been staring at that guy for, 30 seconds. I'm observing. That's staring with a restraining order. Ethan ignored him. Across the club, the man turned slightly beneath a strip of electric blue light. Tall, broad shoulders. Dark brown hair swept back carelessly instead of styled into the annoyingly perfect shape Ethan usually saw at Bennett family dinners. White shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. And that profile. Oh God. Reason 3 had officially become irrelevant. It was Cole Bennett, his best friend's older brother. The man Ethan had spent approximately 4 years absolutely, definitely, unquestionably not having a crush on. His stomach dropped. This was impossible. Cole was the guy who remembered Ethan took his coffee without sugar. The guy who silently handed him an umbrella when it rained. The guy who once fixed Ethan's broken kitchen cabinet while wearing gray sweatpants. An event Ethan still considered evidence that the universe was cruel and possibly homophobic. But Cole Bennett at a gay club? No, absolutely not. Maybe this was his evil gay twin. Ethan took another sip. Okay, Noah said. Now you look terrified. I know him. Ooh. Don't ooh. Ex. Worse. Married. Worse. Noah's eyes widened. Republican. My best friend's brother. Noah stared at him, then slowly smiled. Oh, this is delicious. This is a human tragedy. Ethan looked back toward the bar. Cole was alone. That somehow made everything stranger. He wasn't flirting, wasn't dancing, wasn't even drinking much. One hand rested around a glass while his eyes moved through the crowd with an uneasiness Ethan had never seen on him before. Cole always looked like he belonged wherever he stood. At Ryan's apartment, at Christmas dinner, at the office in those dark suits Ethan absolutely did not think about later. But here, his shoulders were tight. His jaw was tighter. He looked like someone standing on the edge of a swimming pool, trying to convince himself to jump. Something inside Ethan softened. Then Cole looked up. Their eyes met. Oh no. Ethan watched recognition happen in real time. Cole's gaze sharpened. His fingers froze around his glass. For one strange second, neither of them moved. The music kept pounding. Blue light became pink, then violet. Someone bumped Ethan's shoulder and muttered an apology. But Cole was still staring directly at him. Ethan's brain offered several mature solutions. Run. Hide. Fake his death. Move to Canada. Instead, he lifted one hand and gave Cole the smallest, most catastrophically awkward wave in human history. Cole did not wave back. Bad? Noah asked. Very. Cole put his drink down. Very bad. He's coming over. Noah glanced across the room. Oh wow. He is. Cole moved through the crowd with terrifying purpose. Ethan's pulse climbed with every step. Because there was one detail Ryan didn't know. One detail Ethan had carefully avoided explaining during years of friendship. Ryan knew Ethan dated. Ryan knew Ethan was private. Ryan did not know exactly who Ethan dated. And apparently Ethan wasn't the only Bennett-adjacent man keeping secrets. Cole stopped in front of him. Up close, he looked different tonight. Less untouchable. A little pale beneath the neon, breath slightly uneven. Something uncertain hiding behind those steady hazel eyes. Ethan. His voice was low enough that Ethan felt it more than heard it. Cole. Brilliant. Excellent conversation. Cole glanced at Noah, then back at Ethan. Ethan swallowed. I can explain. Cole's eyebrows drew together. Explain what? Why I'm here. A beat. Cole's expression changed. Not anger. Not disgust. Something Ethan couldn't read. That's interesting, Cole said quietly. Ethan's mouth went dry. Why? Cole stepped closer so he wouldn't have to raise his voice over the music. Close enough that Ethan caught the familiar clean scent of his cologne beneath smoke. Alcohol, and somebody's aggressively tropical body spray. Close enough to make 4 years of bad decisions wake up simultaneously. Cole leaned toward his ear. Because I was about to ask you the same thing. The problem with mutually assured destruction was that Ethan had always assumed it would involve nuclear codes, not two closeted men standing 3 inches apart beneath a neon sign shaped like a pair of lips. What exactly are you asking me? Ethan said. Cole stared at him. Ethan stared back. Behind them, the base continued trying to rearrange everyone's internal organs. Then Cole's eyes flicked toward Noah. Noah immediately raised both hands. I suddenly have somewhere else to be. You literally came with me. And now I'm leaving with personal growth. Noah. Love you. Traitor. He vanished into the crowd. Ethan turned back and discovered Cole was still watching him. Fantastic. So, Ethan said, this is normal. Cole's brow lifted. 2 guys unexpectedly meeting in a gay club? Happens constantly. Does it? No idea. I'm panicking. Something almost happened to Cole's mouth. Almost a smile. Which was deeply unfair. Ethan lowered his voice. Look, I won't tell Ryan. Cole went still. There. He'd said it. The enormous rainbow-colored elephant in the room. I mean it. Ethan continued quickly. Whatever you're doing here is none of my business. I didn't see you. You didn't see me. Tonight becomes one of those government files that get sealed for 80 years. Cole blinked, then said, I won't tell Ryan. Ethan stopped. What? I won't tell him. No. I heard the words. I'm just offended by their arrangement. Cole glanced around them. You're here too, Ethan. Yes, but what? His brain slammed into a wall. Cole knew. Of course Cole knew. Ethan was standing inside a gay club beneath rotating purple lights, while 2 men kissed 6 feet away. Subtlety had left the building. Oh, Ethan whispered. Cole's expression softened. Oh, Ethan repeated, considerably more horrified. You didn't tell him. It wasn't a question. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. Not exactly. Why? Why haven't you? Cole's jaw tightened. Direct hit. For several seconds, neither spoke. Then a stranger brushed past Ethan, turned back, and smiled. Cute. Blonde. Confident. Hey, the guy said. You dancing? Ethan opened his mouth. Cole answered first. He's not. Silence. The stranger looked at Cole, then Ethan, then at the suspiciously small distance between them. Right, he said. Got it. He disappeared. Ethan slowly turned his head. Cole seemed to realize what he'd done approximately 3 seconds too late. I meant we were talking. Uh-huh. You looked uncomfortable. I looked confused. Same face. Ethan stared at him. Cole looked away. Interesting. Very interesting. Also probably meaningless. Ethan's heart, unfortunately, had never respected evidence. Cole exhaled. Can we go somewhere quieter? Every inappropriate neuron in Ethan's brain caught fire. Outside, Cole clarified. Obviously, I meant to talk. I know. You made a face. This is just my face. Another almost smile. God. Ethan hated tonight. They pushed through the crowd toward the exit. Cold air hit Ethan the moment the door opened, carrying the smell of rain and wet pavement. Neon bled across the sidewalk in pink and blue reflections. Cole stopped beneath the awning. For the first time all night, he looked nervous. Actually nervous. Not irritated. Not caught. Afraid. That realization stripped the joke from Ethan's mouth. Hey, Ethan said more softly. I meant what I said. Cole looked at him. Your secret is safe. Something moved behind Cole's eyes. Relief, maybe. Or sadness. Then he nodded. So is yours. Ethan smiled faintly. Mutual blackmail. Beautiful foundation for a friendship. Cole gave a quiet laugh. Ethan nearly forgot how lungs worked. He had heard Cole laugh before. Just never like that. Not guarded. Not polite. Real. Then the club door opened behind them. The blonde guy from earlier stepped outside, spotted Ethan, and smiled again. Cole's shoulders immediately stiffened. Ethan noticed. This time, he definitely noticed. The stranger started toward them. Cole stepped closer. Not touching. Just close enough for Ethan to feel his warmth along one side of his body. Do you know him? Cole asked. No, Cole's gaze stayed on the approaching man. Do you want to? Ethan looked at Cole instead. And suddenly the question felt like it had absolutely nothing to do with the stranger. Do I want to know him? Ethan repeated the question because apparently his brain had decided buying time was more important than maintaining dignity. Cole's eyes stayed on the blonde man approaching them. Yes. That sounded weirdly serious. It wasn't. Your jaw is doing that thing. Cole finally looked at him. What thing? The murder thing. I don't have a murder thing. You absolutely have a murder thing. The blonde stranger reached them before Cole could defend his facial expressions. Hey again. He smiled at Ethan. Sorry if I interrupted something earlier. You didn't, Ethan said. Yes, he did, Cole said. Ethan turned slowly. Cole looked back at him with the expression of a man who had just hurt himself and deeply regretted possessing vocal cords. The stranger laughed. Okay, definitely interrupting something. No, Ethan said. Yes, Cole said. Oh my God, I'll leave you two to figure that out. The guy gave Ethan an amused little wave before heading down the sidewalk. Silence. Rain whispered against the awning. Ethan folded his arms. Cole stared at the street. So, don't. I haven't said anything. You're about to. I was going to ask whether you normally chase away men who talk to me. I didn't chase him away. You looked at him like you were calculating where to bury the body. Cole rubbed a hand over his face. I'm going home. No, Cole paused. The word surprised both of them. Ethan's humor faded. Not yet, he said more quietly. You wanted to talk. Something shifted. Cole glanced toward the club entrance, then toward the rain-dark street. Walk with me. They moved beneath the awnings lining the block. For once, Ethan didn't fill the silence. Cole's hands stayed buried in his pockets. His shoulders were still too tight. This wasn't the Cole who teased Ryan about his terrible cooking or calmly fixed Ethan's cabinet while Ethan tried not to stare at his forearms. This Cole looked exhausted. I've never done that before, Cole finally said. Threatened a blonde man with your cheekbones? Come to a place like this. Ethan stopped joking. Oh, I almost left 3 times. The admission was so quiet Ethan nearly missed it. Before you went inside? Cole nodded. Ethan pictured him outside the club alone, watching strangers pass through that door while arguing with himself. Suddenly nothing about tonight felt funny. Does anyone know? One person. Ryan. Cole's laugh held no humor. Definitely not Ryan. Your parents. No, Ethan nodded. He understood that answer too well. Cole glanced at him. How long have you known? That I like men? Cole nodded. Long enough to have developed several terrible coping mechanisms and an unhealthy relationship with deleting browser history. Cole huffed a laugh. Ethan smiled. College, he said. Maybe before that. I just didn't have words I trusted yet. And Ryan. He knows I date. He just doesn't know the complete casting requirements. Cole looked down. You think he'd care? No, Ethan shoved his hands into his jacket pockets, which somehow makes avoiding the conversation even stupider. It doesn't. Ethan looked at him. Cole's expression was distant. Sometimes knowing someone will probably accept you doesn't make saying it easier. There it was. Not shame exactly. Fear. Old, practiced fear. Ethan wanted to touch him. That realization arrived with terrifying clarity. Not kiss him. Not drag him back beneath neon lights and fulfill every irresponsible fantasy Ethan had carefully buried for 4 years. Just touch him. A hand on his arm. Something that said, you're okay. He didn't. Instead, Ethan bumped his shoulder lightly against Cole's. Cole looked at him. You made it inside, Ethan said. A pause. Barely. Still counts. Cole's gaze lingered on him. Too long. Long enough for Ethan's pulse to become unhelpful again. So naturally, Ethan ruined it. Were you meeting someone? Cole's expression closed slightly. Damn. Ethan tried to sound casual. Failed spectacularly. You don't have to tell me. Obviously. I was just wondering because you kept looking around, and then you were alone, and maybe your date stood you up, which would make him an idiot, objectively. Not that I have opinions about your hypothetical gay dating life. Ethan. He stopped. Cole was smiling now. Actually smiling. Sorry. You talk when you're nervous. I talk all the time. Not like this. Rude. Accurate, but rude. Ethan swallowed. So there was someone? Cole looked toward the wet street. Yes. The answer landed unpleasantly low in Ethan's stomach. Of course. Someone. A man Cole actually wanted. Ethan forced a grin. Lucky guy. Cole's eyes returned to him. There was something almost painful in them now. He doesn't know. Ethan's smile weakened. Then tell him. I'm trying. The air changed. Or Ethan imagined it did. Probably imagined it. Definitely imagined it. Cole stepped closer, rain glittering along the dark strands of his hair. Cole. His gaze dropped briefly to Ethan's mouth before rising again. Then he said, so quietly Ethan almost lost the words beneath the rain. I've known what I wanted for a long time. Ethan forgot to breathe. Cole held his gaze. I just wasn't sure I could walk through that door and admit it. A taxi hissed through a puddle behind them. Ethan's heart slammed once against his ribs. Then what changed? Cole went very still. When he answered, his voice was barely above a whisper. I knew exactly who I wanted before I walked in. By Saturday afternoon, Ethan had developed a sophisticated emotional recovery plan. Step 1. Pretend Friday night had never happened. Step 2. Avoid Cole Bennett until death. Step 3. Never again analyze the sentence. I knew exactly who I wanted before I walked in. It was an excellent plan. It survived until 2:13 p.m. Come over, Ryan said through Ethan's phone. Mom made enough food to feed a minor European nation. I'm busy. You're watching Netflix. How dare you know me? 2:30. The call ended. Ethan stared at his ceiling. Betrayal. 40 minutes later, he walked into the Bennett house and immediately saw Cole in the kitchen. Of course, because God enjoyed episodic television. Cole stood at the counter slicing lemons, wearing a black t-shirt with the sleeves hugging his arms in ways Ethan considered personally malicious. Their eyes met. Knife stopped. Ethan stopped. Ryan walked directly between them carrying a bowl of chips. Why are you two being weird? We're not, they said simultaneously. Ryan paused. Ethan wanted the floor to open. Instead, Ryan shrugged. Cool. Cole looked down. Ethan looked anywhere else. This was unbearable. Last night, Cole had stood inches from him beneath the rain and admitted he wanted someone. Someone. Not Ethan. Probably. Maybe. Absolutely probably. Ethan hated adverbs. Dinner became an exercise in psychological warfare. Ryan complained about work. Mrs. Bennett discussed a neighbor's divorce. Mr. Bennett argued with the television. Cole said almost nothing. But every few minutes Ethan felt his gaze. Once, under the table, their knees touched. Ethan jerked back so violently he kicked the chair leg. Everyone looked at him. Cramp, Ethan announced. In your entire body? Ryan asked. Yes. Cole covered his mouth. The bastard was laughing. Later, Ethan escaped to the kitchen under the respectable excuse of needing water and the actual excuse of needing to stop breathing the same oxygen as Cole. He opened the refrigerator. Are you avoiding me? Ethan nearly climbed inside. Cole stood behind him. No. You left without saying goodbye last night. You were meeting someone. Cole frowned. What? At the club. Understanding flickered across his face. Oh. That annoyed Ethan immediately. Exactly. Oh. Cole leaned against the counter. Why does that matter? It doesn't. You sound angry. I'm aggressively hydrated. Cole's mouth twitched. Ethan grabbed a glass. Cole's phone buzzed on the counter. Ethan didn't mean to look. He genuinely didn't. But the screen lit up directly beside his hand. Marcus, last night was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. Ethan froze. Something cold dropped through his stomach. Marcus. Of course there was a Marcus. There was always a Marcus. Probably handsome. Probably emotionally stable. Probably owned matching towels. Cole reached for the phone, but not before noticing Ethan had seen it. Their eyes met. Ethan smiled too quickly. Your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. Right. Ethan. What? None of my business. You're doing it again. Doing what? Talking like you're trying to outrun your own thoughts. Ethan laughed. Maybe my thoughts are slow. Cole stepped closer. Ethan hated that his body noticed before his brain did. Warmth. Cologne. The faint brush of Cole's sleeve against his wrist. Marcus isn't, seriously. Ethan lifted both hands. You don't owe me an explanation. Cole's jaw tightened. You asked. And now I'm unasking. That isn't a thing. I just invented it. Footsteps sounded in the hallway. Cole immediately stepped back. Ryan entered. He looked between them. Okay. Seriously. What is going on? Nothing, Ethan said. Cole said nothing, which somehow looked guiltier. Ryan narrowed his eyes. Then opened the refrigerator. You guys are bizarre. He left with a soda. Ethan exhaled. Cole didn't. His phone buzzed again. Ethan refused to look this time. I should go. Ethan. Tell Ryan I had a cramp emergency. He slipped past Cole. A hand caught his wrist. Gentle. Warm. Instantly, every joke disappeared from Ethan's head. Cole stared at where his fingers circled Ethan's wrist, then slowly released him. Why are you upset? I'm not. Then look at me. Terrible request. Ethan did. Cole's expression was softer now, but there was frustration beneath it. And something else. Something Ethan was becoming dangerously tempted to name. He swallowed. You said you went there for someone. Yes. Then your phone says last night was a mistake. Cole blinked. Suddenly, unbelievably, he understood. Ethan. What? You think Marcus is the person I went there for? Ethan's face burned. I don't think anything. Cole took one slow step toward him. Then why? He asked quietly. Do you look jealous? Jealous. Ethan said the word like Cole had accused him of tax fraud. Cole didn't move. You heard me. I did. I'm just giving you an opportunity to reconsider. I don't need one. Bold. Ethan. Terrible name. Never met him. Cole's eyes narrowed. Ethan's survival instincts finally arrived, approximately 5 minutes late. He turned toward the hallway. Anyway, wonderful conversation. Very educational. I'm going to find Ryan and develop a sudden medical emergency. Cole followed him. Stop running away. I'm walking. You're walking very fast. I have long legs. So do I. That was, unfortunately, true. Ethan made it 3 steps before Cole moved around him and blocked the hallway. Not aggressively, just effectively. Which was worse? Ethan stopped. Cole folded his arms. Marcus isn't someone I'm dating. Congratulations to Marcus. And nothing happened between us. Congratulations again. Cole stared at him. Ethan stared at the framed Bennett family photograph behind Cole's shoulder because it was safer than looking directly at the man currently dismantling his sanity. You're jealous. I'm not. You saw one message. A very intimate message. You assumed I slept with him. I assumed nothing. You've mentioned him 6 times. His name has excellent conversational versatility. Cole laughed once. Quiet. Disbelieving. Ethan hated the effect that sound had on him. Then Cole stepped closer. The laughter disappeared. So if I had been with him, Cole said, that would bother you? There it was. The question beneath every other question. Ethan's throat tightened. No, Cole took another step. Really? Yes. Then look at me when you say it. Cruel. Absolutely cruel. Ethan lifted his eyes. Cole was close enough now that Ethan could see the tiny amber flecks in his hazel irises. I don't care who you kiss. Cole's gaze dropped to Ethan's mouth. Just once. Barely a second. But Ethan saw it. His heartbeat stumbled. Okay. Cole murmured. Okay. That was it. Ethan suddenly wanted to throw something. Great. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. I hope Marcus is an amazing kisser. Cole blinked. Then his mouth curved. You don't care, though. I don't. Obviously. Deeply indifferent. Cole leaned closer. Ethan forgot what indifference meant. Would it bother you? Cole asked softly. If I kissed someone else? Every sound in the house seemed to disappear. Ethan could hear Cole breathing. Could feel the warmth between them. Could smell that stupid clean cologne that had been haunting him since Friday night. He should joke. That was what Ethan did. Make it funny. Make it harmless. Run before anything became real. Instead, he whispered, You're my best friend's brother. Cole's expression changed. That wasn't my question. Ethan's heart hit his ribs hard enough to hurt. Cole. What? You can't stand this close to me and ask things like that. Why? You know why. I want to hear you say it. Ethan almost laughed, but nothing came out. Cole Bennett was flirting with him. No. Worse. Cole Bennett knew Ethan wanted him. And instead of retreating, he was moving closer. Cole lifted one hand. Slowly, giving Ethan enough time to move away. His fingers brushed the side of Ethan's wrist. Barely there. The smallest touch imaginable. It burned. Ethan's eyes dropped to Cole's mouth. Bad idea. Catastrophic idea. Cole noticed. Of course he noticed. Their faces were inches apart now. Ethan's breath caught when Cole's thumb moved once against his pulse. Tell me to stop, Cole murmured. Ethan couldn't. Cole leaned in. 1 inch. Then another. Ethan could feel his breath. Warm. Unsteady. Cole was nervous too. That somehow made everything worse. Or better. Probably both. Ethan's eyes started to close. Then Cole. Ryan's voice floated from the living room. They sprang apart like someone had detonated a bomb between them. Have you seen Ethan? Ethan pressed himself against the wall, silently reconsidering every decision he had made since birth. Cole looked equally wrecked, which was satisfying for approximately half a second. Ryan's footsteps approached. Ethan whispered, This is exactly why we can't do this. Cole's eyes snapped to his. Do what? Ethan gestured violently between them. This. You mean almost kiss? Do not name the crime. Cole stepped closer again. Ethan nearly screamed. Ryan is 10 feet away. I can count. You're insane. Maybe. Cole's voice softened. But you wanted me to kiss you. Ethan froze. Cole held his gaze. No teasing now. No ambiguity. Just terrifying certainty. Ethan swallowed. Then Ryan called again. Ethan. He stepped away from Cole. Coming. His voice cracked. Perfect. Ethan started toward the living room, but Cole caught his hand for half a second. Not enough to stop him. Just enough to make him turn. Cole looked at him and said quietly, Next time, don't use Ryan as your answer. Ethan's pulse jumped. Cole released him. Tell me what you want. Marcus was supposed to walk in with me. Cole said it Sunday night while standing outside Ethan's apartment, holding 2 coffees and looking unfairly composed for a man who had nearly kissed his younger brother's best friend 24 hours earlier. Ethan stared at him. What? Marcus? Oh. Ethan folded his arms. Your mysterious non-boyfriend. He's gay. That generally improves his qualifications for being your mysterious boyfriend. Cole sighed. Can I come in? No, Ethan. Fine. Ethan stepped aside. Terrible decision number 412. Cole entered, placed 1 coffee on the counter, then kept a suspiciously respectful distance. Ethan appreciated it. His nervous system did not. So, Ethan said, Marcus. He's a friend from work. The only person I've told. Ethan's sarcasm faded. Cole looked down at his coffee. I told him 6 months ago. That you're gay? Cole nodded. The word seemed difficult for him even when Ethan was the one saying it. He offered to take me somewhere. No pressure. Just somewhere I wouldn't have to pretend. The club. The club. Ethan leaned against the counter. Then what did his message mean? Cole gave him a look. Ethan immediately regretted sounding interested. For purely investigative reasons. Obviously, I'm basically law enforcement. You're wearing pajama pants with cartoon sharks. Undercover law enforcement. Cole's mouth twitched. Then his expression sobered. Marcus panicked. Ethan blinked. Marcus. He saw someone outside he knew from work. He wasn't ready to be seen either. So he left. We argued. That's what he meant by mistake. He thinks he shouldn't have pushed me into going. Ethan's stomach performed an embarrassing little flip. So nothing happened. No, with Marcus. No kissing. Cole stared at him. Ethan cleared his throat. Thorough investigator. Nothing happened. Relief arrived far too quickly. Cole noticed. The bastard noticed everything. But you still went inside, Ethan said. Yes. Alone. Yes. Ethan frowned. Friday night replayed in fragments. Cole by the bar. Cole scanning the room. Cole saying there was someone. Cole saying he knew exactly who he wanted. A dangerous possibility began assembling itself inside Ethan's head. He immediately tried to murder it. Why? Cole became very still. Why what? Why go in after Marcus left? Silence. Ethan's pulse started climbing. Cole set his coffee down. I almost didn't. But you did. Yes. Why? Cole looked directly at him. And suddenly Ethan wished he hadn't asked. Because there was no uncertainty in Cole's face anymore. I knew you went there sometimes. Everything inside Ethan stopped. What? Ryan mentioned the place once. Ryan doesn't know what kind of club it is. I do. Oh God. Ethan pushed away from the counter. So you knew I might be there? Yes. And the person you said you went there for? Cole took 1 step closer. Ethan's lungs filed for resignation. Cole. I meant you. There it was. No music. No rain. No Ryan interrupting from another room. Nothing to hide behind. Ethan laughed once because his body had apparently selected system failure. That's not funny. I'm not joking. You've barely tolerated me for 4 years. Cole's eyebrows rose. Is that what you think? You call me Miller when I annoy you. You annoy me constantly. See? And I still look for you every time I walk into Ryan's apartment. Ethan stopped breathing. Cole continued, quieter now. I know how you take your coffee. I know you hate olives, but pretend you don't because Ryan likes ordering them on pizza. I know you make jokes whenever you're scared. Cole, I know you. The words landed softly. That made them worse. Ethan looked away. For years of convincing himself every glance was accidental. Every small kindness meant nothing. Every moment existed only because he was Ryan's friend. You could have said something. Cole laughed without humor. And tell my brother I wanted his best friend before I could even admit to myself that I wanted a man. Ethan looked back. Cole's composure finally cracked. I wasn't supposed to be at that club, Ethan. I sat in my car for 20 minutes telling myself to go home. Then why didn't you? Cole stepped closer. Not touching. Never forcing. Just close. Because I thought you might be inside. Ethan's heart hurt now. Not metaphorically. Actually hurt. And if I hadn't been, I would have had one drink and gone home. And if I was? Cole's gaze softened. I hadn't figured out that part. Ethan let out a shaky laugh. Excellent planning. I was terrified. That silenced him. Cole Bennett. Terrified. Yet he had walked through the door anyway. For Ethan. Cole's fingers moved near his hand, then stopped before touching. I liked you before Friday, he said. Ethan stared at the tiny space between their hands. How long before? A pause. Long enough that answering honestly might make you panic. Ethan looked up. Try me. Cole smiled faintly. 3 years. Ethan's brain died peacefully. 3. Almost 4. Cole Bennett. I warned you. Ethan covered his face. I need a new personality. Cole laughed. Then Ethan felt the lightest brush of fingers against his wrist. He lowered his hands. Cole was watching him. Waiting. Always waiting. Ethan swallowed. So Friday night wasn't when I realized I wanted you. Cole's thumb brushed once over Ethan's pulse. It was the first night I decided I was tired of pretending I didn't. Tell me what you want. Cole's words from yesterday had been living rent-free inside Ethan's head, eating his food, using his shower, and generally behaving like terrible tenants. Now Cole was standing in Ethan's kitchen. Again. Close enough to touch. Again. And Ethan had officially run out of excuses. You know, Ethan said, staring at Cole's hand near his wrist. This would be significantly easier if you were less attractive. Cole blinked. That's your response. I'm processing. You've been processing since Friday. I have a slow operating system. Cole smiled. That smile was becoming a serious problem. Ethan drew a breath. Almost 4 years. Yes. You liked me for almost 4 years, and somehow your strategy was to act emotionally constipated every time I entered a room. I thought I was subtle. You once stared at me for an entire Thanksgiving dinner. You had cranberry sauce on your cheek. For 40 minutes? Cole looked away. Ethan's mouth fell open. Oh my God, don't. You were staring. Ethan, at my face. I'm leaving. Ethan laughed and caught Cole's hand before he could move. The laughter died instantly. Their fingers were touching. Actually touching. Not accidental. Not a wrist grabbed in a hallway. Not knees beneath a dinner table. Ethan had reached for him. Cole looked down at their hands. Then up. Something vulnerable entered his expression. Don't leave, Ethan whispered. Cole didn't. The room became impossibly quiet. Ethan could hear the refrigerator humming behind him. A car passing outside. His own heartbeat behaving like it had recently discovered percussion. Cole moved one step closer. Are you sure? Ethan almost made another joke. Almost. Then he remembered what Cole had said. Tell me what you want. I've wanted to kiss you since I was 20. Cole inhaled sharply. Well, there went dignity. Ethan swallowed. I just thought wanting you was one of those things I was supposed to get over. Why? You're Ryan's brother. That's not a moral failing. It is when Ryan once threatened to break a guy's nose for flirting with his cousin. That was different. How? He hated that guy. He loves me. Imagine the betrayal. Cole's expression softened. Ethan, I know. No, listen. Cole lifted his hand, but stopped beside Ethan's face. Waiting. Ethan leaned into the touch himself. Cole's fingertips settled against his jaw. Warm. Careful. Every stupid thought in Ethan's head disappeared. If this happens, Cole murmured, I don't want it to happen because Friday scared us into doing something reckless. It didn't. Or because I told you I wanted you. It isn't. I need to know you're choosing this. Ethan stared at him. That was Cole. Even now. Even after years of wanting. Still leaving the final inch to Ethan. So Ethan closed it. He kissed him. For one suspended second, Cole didn't move. Then his hand slid gently behind Ethan's neck. The kiss deepened. Not frantic, not desperate. Warm. Careful. Almost disbelieving. Ethan curled his fingers into Cole's shirt and felt Cole laugh softly against his mouth. He pulled back half an inch. Are you laughing at my kissing? No, that was definitely laughter. You grabbed my shirt. I needed structural support. Cole laughed again. Ethan kissed him just to shut him up. This one was less careful. Cole's thumb brushed Ethan's jaw. Ethan's heart did something medically irresponsible. When they finally separated, their foreheads stayed together. Oh, Ethan whispered. Cole's breath warmed his lips. Good-o. Annoyingly good-o. I'll take it. Ethan smiled. Then his phone rang. They both froze. The screen lit up on the counter. Ryan. Ethan stared at it. Cole stared at it. The universe, apparently, had comedic timing. No, Ethan whispered. The phone kept ringing. Cole stepped back. The sudden distance felt colder than it should have. Ethan looked at him. This is what I meant. What? Everything gets complicated now. Cole's expression changed. Not regret. Resolve. We were already complicated. Ryan is going to kill us. He won't. You sound suspiciously confident for someone who hid in a gay club like an undercover federal agent. Cole exhaled. Maybe hiding is the problem. Ethan stopped. The phone went silent. Cole looked at it, then at him. We can't build this around lying to him. This. Cole's gaze softened. Yes, Ethan. One word. Somehow terrifying. Somehow wonderful. This. The phone immediately started ringing again. Ethan groaned. He has supernatural timing. Cole reached for his coat. Answer him. And say what? For now? Say hello. Ethan picked up the phone. Hey, Ryan. Finally. What are you doing? Ethan looked across the kitchen. Cole was watching him. His lips still slightly pink from kissing. His expression almost amused. Ethan's face burned. Nothing. Cole raised an eyebrow. Ryan sighed through the phone. Why do you sound weird? I don't. You absolutely do. Cole silently mouthed. Tell him. Ethan's eyes widened. Now. Cole shook his head, smiling. Not now. But soon. And somehow that frightened Ethan more than getting caught ever could. Because Friday night had been an accident. The club had been an accident. Seeing Cole there had been an accident. This wasn't. Ethan looked at Cole and finally understood the difference. For the first time, they were choosing what happened next. We need to tell Ryan. Ethan nearly dropped his coffee. It was Monday morning. 7:42. There were laws against conversations like this before 8. He stared across the tiny cafe table at Cole, who looked offensively functional in a charcoal coat, while Ethan was still trying to remember whether he had put on matching socks. We. Yes. Interesting pronoun. Cole sighed. Ethan. No, I love it. Very romantic. Very execution adjacent. We can't hide forever. We've been whatever this is for approximately 14 hours. Cole's mouth twitched. Whatever this is. Ethan pointed at him. Don't look pleased. I'm not. You absolutely are. Cole reached across the table. His fingers brushed Ethan's. One tiny touch. Ethan's entire argument collapsed like wet cardboard. Traitorous nervous system. I want to tell him about me first, Cole said. Ethan stopped joking. There was tension beneath Cole's calm voice. Fear. The same fear Ethan had seen outside the club. You don't have to do that because of us. I know. Or because you think you owe Ryan an explanation. I know. Ethan squeezed his fingers. Cole looked down at their hands. I'm doing it because I'm tired, he said quietly. I'm tired of editing myself before I walk into every room. That settled it. Tuesday evening, they sat in Ryan's apartment. Ryan dropped onto the couch holding 3 beers. Why does this feel like an intervention? Because Ethan made it weird, Cole said. Ethan nearly choked. You asked me to come, and you spent 15 minutes pacing. I was emotionally warming up. Ryan looked between them. Okay, which one of you killed someone? Cole inhaled. Ethan went silent. This wasn't his confession to make. Cole's knee touched his beneath the coffee table. This time Ethan didn't move away. I need to tell you something, Cole said. Ryan's smile faded. Cole looked at his brother. I'm gay. Silence. Ethan's heart hammered. Ryan blinked. Once. Twice. Then, okay. Cole stared. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Ryan frowned. Was I supposed to flip the table? Cole laughed suddenly, but his eyes were shining. Ryan's expression softened. You're my brother, idiot. Cole looked down. For one fragile second, Ethan thought the hard part was over. Then Ryan looked at him. And you? Ethan froze. What about me? You look like you're about to confess to tax evasion. Cole closed his eyes. Ethan considered running through the window. Instead, he swallowed. I like men too. Ryan stared. Another silence. Then his eyebrows pulled together. Wait. Oh. Ryan looked at Cole. Then Ethan. Then their knees beneath the table. Then back at Ethan. You both thought I wouldn't be okay with this? Neither answered. Ryan stood. Cole immediately stiffened. But Ryan wasn't angry in the way Ethan expected. He looked hurt. That's what pisses me off. Cole's face fell. Ryan, no. Seriously. You're my brother. You're my best friend. He pointed between them. And both of you decided I was apparently some terrifying homophobic final boss. Ethan winced. When you phrase it like that, how else would I phrase it? You could use softer lighting. Ethan. Sorry. Ryan rubbed both hands over his face. I wish you'd trusted me. That hurt more than anger would have. Cole stood. I should have. Ryan looked at him. I was scared. The honesty drained the tension from the room. Ryan exhaled, then hugged his brother. Cole froze before wrapping his arms around him. Ethan looked away because suddenly the ceiling was fascinating and definitely not because his eyes were burning. Okay, Ryan muttered, pulling back. We're good. Ethan smiled. Then Cole made the mistake. He looked at Ethan. Softly. Too softly. Ryan saw it. His face changed. His gaze moved between them again. Slowly. No, Ethan's stomach dropped. Ryan pointed at Cole. Then Ethan. No, what? Ethan squeaked. Ryan's eyes widened. You too. Cole cleared his throat. Ryan made a sound somewhere between a gasp and a dying engine. You too. Indoor voice, Ethan whispered. You're sleeping with my brother? We are absolutely not sleeping together. Cole added. Yet. Ethan whipped around. Cole. Ryan stared at his brother in horror. Cole looked almost smug. Apparently coming out had unlocked a personality defect. Ryan paced once across the room. My brother. Yes, Ethan said. My best friend. Still me. My best friend and my brother. When you keep repeating it, it sounds worse. It is worse. Then Ryan stopped. He looked at Ethan. Really looked. You like him? The humor disappeared. Ethan glanced at Cole. Yeah. Ryan turned to his brother. And you? Cole didn't hesitate. Very much. Ryan closed his eyes. A long breath escaped him. God, this is going to be annoying. Ethan blinked. That's it. Oh, I hate it. Ryan. But not because you're two guys. Ryan pointed accusingly. I hate it because if you break up, Thanksgiving becomes my problem. Ethan laughed. Cole did too. Ryan glared at them both. Then, reluctantly, his mouth twitched. Also no details. Ever. Agreed. Ethan said immediately. Especially you. Why especially me? You narrate everything. That is slander. Cole reached down beside Ethan. His fingers quietly found Ethan's hand. Ryan noticed. He groaned. Oh my God. It's already happening. Ethan looked at Cole. Cole squeezed his hand. And for the first time since that impossible Friday night, neither of them let go just because Ryan was watching. You're staring again. Ethan didn't bother pretending otherwise. 3 weeks ago, seeing Cole Bennett inside this club had nearly stopped his heart. Tonight, Cole was standing beneath the same violet lights wearing a dark blue shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows, looking considerably less like a hostage negotiating his release. I'm observing. Cole smiled. That's what you said last time. You weren't supposed to hear that. Noah told me. Traitor. Across the room, Noah raised his drink in salute. Ethan flipped him off. Cole laughed. There it was. That laugh. Still dangerous. Still capable of turning Ethan's brain into warm soup. But something was different tonight. Cole wasn't scanning the exits. His shoulders weren't rigid. He wasn't holding his drink like it was the only socially acceptable reason for him to remain in the building. He was simply here. And Ethan knew exactly how difficult that simplicity had been. You okay? Ethan asked. Cole looked around. The music was loud. Bodies moved beneath blue and pink light. 2 men kissed near the dance floor while their friends cheered. Cole watched them for a moment, then nodded. Yeah. No hesitation. Ethan smiled. Cole noticed. What? Nothing. That's never true when you say it. I'm having an emotion. Please respect my privacy. Cole stepped closer. Which emotion? Absolutely none of your business. Is it about me? Unfortunately. Cole's hand found Ethan's. Easy. Natural. Public. Ethan looked down at their intertwined fingers. The first time Cole had touched his wrist, Ethan had nearly short-circuited. Now Cole's thumb brushed over his knuckles like it belonged there. Maybe that was the strangest part. How quickly impossible things could become ordinary. Ryan knew. Marcus knew. Noah knew approximately 17 details Ethan had never voluntarily provided. Cole had even told his parents he was dating someone, though apparently he had postponed revealing that someone was Ryan's best friend because, according to Cole, his mother deserved one cardiac event at a time. Ethan respected the strategy. Mostly. So Cole said, "Dance with me." Ethan stared. You hate dancing. I hate clubs. You're currently in one. I've been reconsidering several opinions lately. That sounds dangerous. Cole tugged gently on his hand. Ethan resisted. Cole. What? You dance like a suburban father at a barbecue. You've never seen me dance. I have intuition. You're scared. Ethan gasped. I survived realizing my best friend's brother had secretly wanted me for 4 years. I fear nothing. Then dance. Damn him. 5 minutes later, Ethan discovered 2 things. First, Cole was not a terrible dancer. Second, this was somehow worse. Cole's hand settled at Ethan's waist. Not possessive, not hesitant either. Just warm. Certain. Ethan looked up. You've been hiding skills. I contain multitudes. Who taught you that phrase? Ryan. Never say it again. Cole smiled and drew him slightly closer. The club dissolved around them. Not literally. Ethan was still painfully aware of someone screaming along to the chorus behind him. But Cole was looking at him. That same look from Friday night. Except Ethan understood it now. No mystery. No imaginary Marcus. No desperate attempts to translate every glance. Want. Simple as that. You know what's annoying? Ethan murmured. Several things about you. Rude. You walked into that. You walked into a gay club because you had a crush on me. Cole's ears turned pink. Victory. I regret telling you. No, you don't. No, the answer came immediately. Ethan's teasing softened. Cole leaned closer. Can I kiss you? Ethan blinked. You're asking now? I like asking. Ethan's chest tightened in the best possible way. Yes. Cole kissed him beneath violet light. Soft. Unhurried. Nothing like the terrifying almost kiss in Ryan's hallway. Nothing like their first kiss in Ethan's kitchen, when both of them had been carrying 4 years of fear between their ribs. This one didn't feel like confession. It felt like arrival. When they separated, Ethan rested his forehead against Cole's. Still hate clubs? Yes. Ethan laughed. Romantic. I like this one. Why? Cole looked at him like the answer was obvious. You're here. Ethan's heart performed something embarrassing. His phone buzzed. Ryan, please remember he is still my brother. Also, Mom wants you both Sunday at 6. Ethan showed Cole. Cole groaned. She knows. Apparently. Another message arrived. Ryan, and Mom says stop avoiding her calls, Cole. Ethan burst out laughing. This is your nightmare. I preferred the closet. No, you didn't. Cole looked at him. The humor faded gently from his face. No, he said. I didn't. Ethan squeezed his hand. 3 weeks ago, he had looked across this same room and thought, Cole Bennett wasn't supposed to be here. Too private. Too careful. Too afraid. Ethan understood now that he had been wrong. Cole hadn't belonged anywhere less because he was afraid to be seen. He had simply needed time to choose being seen. Cole tugged him toward the dance floor again. Come on. Ethan followed. No hiding. No pretending. No letting go when someone looked their way. And as Cole's fingers tightened around his beneath the neon lights, Ethan realized something beautifully simple. This time, Cole wasn't somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. He was exactly where he wanted to be.